So I've taken C++, Java, Game Design 1, 2, and Engineering 1. And although they all kind of differ and alter in the things you learn, I think regardless of that, you kind of get to work with others and really become technical on what you want to do. So it's a lot more focused on, obviously, like coding and engineering stuff you don't really ever see in any of your core classes here at Sunset. And so it's definitely, if you're passionate about it, I highly recommend you take any of these classes they offer here. And I think each year they're just getting better and better because of all the technology we're getting, and thanks to people like Mr. Galbraith for all these grants we've been getting. And so it's definitely, as I go into college, what college students tell me right now is that I'm taking all these classes and they're saying, wow, you already know all this stuff, you're already ahead of the game. And so I think by having this background and taking these classes is allowing me to become just a bit further in advance than any of the college kids I become involved with next year. And so obviously, you learn these technical stuff, but it's also about learning the soft skills, like working with others, learning how to understand these concepts and stuff like that. So definitely the value of these is you don't really see these in any other high schools. No other high schools that I know of outside of Oregon really offer classes like Java programming or C++. And so having the opportunity to go through PSU and take these classes is really something that people should really acknowledge and really at least try and take their time in. Because I think even if you don't really have any interest, today coding is becoming more and more important, with just like the digital revolution. And so I definitely think that even the smaller classes like Game Design 1 is really helpful because coding is something that is just only going to get bigger and later in the future. So it's a bit different because you don't I think it's a lot more of like self-based learning, and so what you want to put in, you will get out. And so I think it's a lot of being able to, because if I didn't have people like my friends and stuff in my classes, there's no way I'd be able to teach myself everything. And I think that, being able to work with others is really important in these classes because you're not going to be able to teach everything yourself. I think, not that I'm proud of, but I think my favorite thing in these classes, I think, was working with like the Android tablets in Java programming, because I actually, for all my life, even when I was like a smaller kid, seeing like iPhones and smartphones and tablets, I was like, wow, that's so cool. And the opportunity to actually do that in high school, which I didn't really expect at all coming into like my freshman year, I think was really cool. And just seeing like my applications come to life on a touch screen is really cool. So as I mentioned earlier, a lot of things you learn is being able to work with a lot of different people, whether if it's on a project that you have to do, like if for Java, we work with the partner projects and deciding how do we want to split up the code, or whether if it's just learning from other people and if you don't understand something, it's just asking someone for help, that's just as important. And it's also important in the fact that you have to be independent in your work and be able to just, teach yourself some skills as well.